Stop that twerking on that man. Drop that card about this scam. Let me put this Bible in your hands. Hands, give me dollars and laying hands. Go and start second, do your hallelujah dance. Do a house, you can get a band. When they do a hallelujah, covered by the lamb.
Greetings. And what up, though? It is your boy, Jason Jamerson, and welcome to the Jason Jamerson podcast. With me, as always, is my man 100 gram, my cousin, Kev BJ. Kev, what's going on?
What up, though, cuz? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How was your weekend?
It was smooth.
That's what's up. That is what's up. I had a nice weekend. I saw grandma this weekend, man. It was cool.
How was she doing?
She doing good, man. Grandma doing good. We was over there for Jana's birthday, and we was all over at grandma's house. It was cool. It was real cool. It was real cool. I had a show in Flint. Well, what did you do this weekend before I get into what I did? I never got a dull moment this way. So,
yeah, man. So this weekend, damn, what did I do? It's becoming a blur. Kind of some of my typicals, honestly. Caught up on some work. Me and one of my good friends, we've been consulting, helping small businesses and nonprofits thrive, survive, and scale. And so, spend a lot of time doing that, putting our heads together, really trying to build a brand and impact the culture and the community that we're in. I play a lot of golf as well. Trying to get better at it. These knees can't be on the basketball court as much anymore. I'm not in the gym squatting a lot either. So really just trying to figure out things that are more lifetime value. And so golf is definitely one of those things, and really trying to figure out other things. And then, man, I would say I just grill. I know we talked a lot about like kind of our kind of rituals, and I think Sunday is my day to kind of get everything ready. I can make kind of lunches for the week, kind of do those things. So that's primarily what I did. Additionally, I am undertaking a new house project, getting a lot of things done. And so I'm replacing like the light fixtures and the wall plates, or like the outlets in the house. I got a lot in the house. And so each one takes about 6 minutes. And so I've been going like a room at a time doing it, but I got to turn the power off because my power box in the basement isn't marked to say what room does what. So I'm airing on everything, turning the whole thing off. So
yeah, that's how it was. I had to change the light in my bathroom one day. And I guess my house is either smaller than I thought, or they just wired everything together, because turning the power off to my bathroom was like the bathroom and the living room, and it was like something else. I'm like, golly.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that. I mean, better safe than sorry, of course, but yeah. But yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool. I had a cool little weekend. But yeah, I'm ready for today though, man. Because today, I know we usually have a lot of topics, but today is actually a special episode because it's the first episode where we're bringing on multiple guests.
Okay.
Throughout the show to continue the conversation we had last week about love versus success. If y'all did not watch last week or listen last week, we were talking about, would you rather have love or success? And Jason is team love. Kevin, for the most part, and the whole totality of things, was team success.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring some people on here. We're gonna get their opinions, because it ain't just us that can have an opinion on this. First and foremost, we have first guest coming on here. We have rapper, producer, and overall entertainer, and also he just so happens to be my brother, Jon Legacy J. Jon Legacy J. Welcome to the stream. I'll put you in the middle.
Go ahead, put me in the middle. Sandwich me in with the greatness.
What's going on?
What's up?
Not much, man. So before we get into it, just so I can make this as because this can go a million different ways depending on people's different, definitions of success, definitions of love, and things like that. For the most part, what it really came down to at the end of the day was, would you rather have love or would you rather have money? Can I summarize it that way?
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so can we say Would you rather have love, or would you rather have the things that you aspired for prior to the love? Like almost like your childhood dream.
I don't think that's what success really is, though. Like, I think each person has their own definition of what success is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Kevin, your definition of success based on your career path might be to be a high-profile lawyer. You know, I could be wrong, but that's not my definition. So you might say, I want that for success, but that's not what I want. Some people's definition of success is to just be in a loving family. Everybody isn't material driven. Everybody isn't driven by money. For instance, my dad's not. He care less about fast cars or expensive clothes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. He don't care nothing about that.
You can tell by his monarchs.
Right. right. So I think it's important to like narrow it down to like individuals' versions of success, because love could be a part of success. You know what I'm saying?
That's very
true.
I
think also it's all predicated on what place you are in life. Because right now you could be hungry. You could be like, I'm not looking for any females right now or any relationships that's going to get in the way of me accomplishing my goals. So in that regard, you might want the success or the journey over the love. But where I'm at right now, where I've experienced, I would rather have the love, because no matter how successful you are, like if you get into a bad accident or if you're hurt in some type of way, your money's not going to take care of you. Your money's not going to be there in the middle of the night, you know, helping you change your bandages. Or in my case, I had a surgery where I was in a sling for 6 months. I couldn't even wash myself up. Money couldn't wash me up. You know what I'm saying? My success couldn't wash me up. My wife had to come and wash me up while I was in the shower. And I think,
was it coming to American style?
Here you go. But I think a lot of people, I'm not picking on anybody out there, but I think a lot of people experience a false version of love, something that they thought was love. Their version of love wasn't true love, to the point where they're like, well, if it's based on me getting this car versus what I experienced in that last relationship, I'll take the car. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't experience the love that they really deserve, and they didn't really experience true love. They thought they did because they were really strong and passionate about that person, but that person didn't reciprocate it to them. So in that regard, a lot of times what people do is they look at that version of love, or what they thought was love, and was like, I don't want no part of that. I'll take any amount of money over what I just experienced. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot of variables to it. But for me, I would take the love, because if you got love, you got somebody by your side. I mean, two is always better than one when it comes to accomplishing your goals anyway. As long as they align with you, they love you, they respect you, and they down to grind with you, then you can make it happen. It's easier with two people than one person.
So you're saying you would trade in those 24 karat gold bookshelves you got behind you, both of them, for love? Is what you're saying?
Absolutely. Love is what got these.
No, well, there you go. That goes to my point that I made last week.
We building together. And the thing is, like, one thing that I think people have to caution themselves with success, and I think a lot of rich people are paranoid, because when they get people around them, they think they're just around them for their money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you get to a certain point in life, you become like a target. Like, family members looking for you to invest in their businesses, friends looking for you to always get along. And what do you think? A lot of the people, whether it's male or female, they're gonna look at you for stability when it comes to relationships. That's the first thing they're gonna look at when they see you hop out of that Lamborghini. Stability. That Maybach. Stability. You know, they're not looking at, wow, he might be a nice guy, or she might be a nice. They like, I'm about to hit a lick on her or him. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not everybody's like that, but it's hard to like filter through who really likes you and who doesn't. So it's a tricky thing, you know. But like I said, that's my take on it.
Yeah, that was the point I was making. Well, that was my argument. I don't say the point. Now, my argument last week was it is easier to get success after you find love than it is to get love after you find success. And that was for that very reason. Kev, you look like you was about to say something.
I don't know about that. I don't know about the see. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to it because like when you get love, then what they say, first come love, then come the marriage, then come the babies and the baby carriage. You know, you got these kids, you got all these obligations. It's kind of hard to get success. So
to that point,
it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
One of the viewers has a comment. They said, "I found love, and it drove me to be successful for my wife and son. In my case, my success might not have ever found me if I didn't have them to do it for. Now I got to stay at home mom taking care of my son, and I feel very successful." So
that's true. That's true. You know, and I can say that too because like when you start hearing them complain about certain things, you can either be like, "Hey, it is what it is," or you can be like, "Shoot, I need to apply for this new position," or "I need to go out here and grind. I need to, you know, take care of." Or like the kids need things, clothes, and you know it does. And I could say that for myself. It drove me to want to do more and to be a better person, especially having my first kid.
I can totally see that, and I appreciate Dylan for his input as well. For me, if we were going to recap my argument from last week, it was basically it's really in milestones, right? Depending on where you are in your life, I think that especially when you're younger, I think that prioritizing success and John, I think you hit it on the head. Success is not just money. It's not just career. It's really success is getting to the goal, the experience, or the value that you kind of want in your life. And so really steering and doing that, it takes a lot of energy, effort, time, and resources to get there. And you can get very distracted because of love or false love. And love has a expiration date, right? And so that was my point of view, is that when you're prioritizing and going through, I think that you need to prioritize success more so in your life and more milestones rather than love. I think when love comes, it can attach to those things, but there may be a timeline to it where it cancels out. Your love may be a 5-year experience, and then you are kind of looking back on where your life led off, and you were distracted. You went in a different deviation to where you wanted to go, and you may not have the same happiness, the same security or stability as you mentioned when you do those things. And so I think that prioritizing success is a really good thing to do, especially when you're earlier in life and you're at certain milestones within your life. But I definitely think long-term love is the more powerful play.
Yeah. And I also believe
I'll say this.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll say this. Well, I mean, I will say, because you said something like, what did you say? You said something about love having an expiration date. That's why I say you have to know what real love is. Like if you experience real love, it ain't no expiration date on it. Like if you're out here, because a lot of people think they're in love, but they're in lust. They see a person, they like how they look, and they physically attracted to them, but there's no mental connection. There's no real mental connection there. You really don't have nothing in common except that you like to smash together. And a lot of the stuff the person does gets on your nerves. And then when you no longer can smash, you're ready to dash. Am I right?
And that's why the smashing is going to end on with all the arguments. Arguments end with smashing.
And that's not love. See, and that's the difference, because when you experience real love, like I got with my wife, I was 19. We've been married since what? I think we got married when I was 21.
2008, 2009? It's 2007.
Yeah. So, and that's why I say, like, a lot of people who really think they like in love, they really not. I've been there. I've been with girls where I thought I was in love with them and we thought it was going to work out. And then now I look at it, I'm like, I was really just wasting my time. Like, we really didn't have nothing in common, really. It was just the physical attraction. And it takes more than that. Love takes more than just physical attractions and the fact that, you know, the sexuality and all that type of stuff, because when that goes away, is that person your best friend or not? You know, at the end of the day, if this person that you smash, if they're not your best friend, I mean, you kind of wasting your time, because unless that's your intention, it all depends on what your intentions are. Is your intention to be with somebody forever? And if it is, then you got to start evaluating the dynamics of your relationship.
Or your goals for love.
Huh?
Like, what are your goals? Like, what are your goals for love? I think when I talk about goals for success, you got to have goals for love as well, and be able to be aligned with that person you may be in love with, because it may look or feel different for both of you all based on how you grew up, what your expectations are, what your lifestyle is, and what your wants are.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with the original conversation I had with the gentleman who I was hoping I can get him on here today, but he was busy. The gentleman that I had this original conversation with was the fact that a lot of, from what he was telling me, there's a lot of single folk out here who have no goal for love or anything. Like they're dating to date. They're dating with no intention, and
they just don't want to be lonely.
Exactly. So, yeah. But yeah, no. Thanks, John, for all that stuff, man. Those some very good points. Some very, very, very good points. But we got another guest. I'm gonna let you get back to your family and whatnot.
Back to the dating experience, John. We'd love to have you again.
Hey, man, we gotta get you back on here and talk about other stuff other than this. You got more things to talk about. You got more going on than just being married and having gold bookcases behind you.
Yeah, you right about that. But,
right. So we're gonna get you back on here. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Peace out, brother.
All right.
Oh, was he still talking? My bad.
All good.
Oh, I gotta get my timing right on cutting people off. All right. Our next guest is a comedian. He actually puts a lot of comedy shows together here in the Metro Detroit area. He is the CEO of what is called Knuckleheads Comedy. So our next guest I'm gonna bring on to you right now is Adam Walsh. Adam, what's going on?
Jason, Kev, what is going on, fellas? How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
Not much, man. Getting another week going. Actually got a night off from shows tonight. So I've seen Jason's post. I'm like, you know what? Let me jump on Jason's podcast. I haven't seen him in a few weeks, and it's been a minute. So thanks for having me, fellas. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Adam runs some of the coldest comedy rooms here in the Metro Detroit area. I actually had the opportunity to headline one of them a few weeks ago. It was real dope. It's a restaurant called Soul of Detroit. It's actually a black-owned restaurant. It's in Soul of Detroit in Sterling Heights, and that food was delicious.
Bro, I always tell people that place is slept on with the food. I mean, you know me. I grew up at 7 and Gratiot. I'm a Faircrest kid. So when I'm a sucker for them roadside barbecues, man, and especially mac and cheese. And I tell everybody, man, you better try the mac and cheese, because that'll let you know how the whole menu is. But you are right, man. That was a great show we had a few weeks ago. Commercial should be coming up soon. He was just telling me this past Thursday. But no, I appreciate that, man. I do. I work my ass off trying to do what we do out here.
Absolutely.
Man. Just trying to bring the funny to everybody, provide a stage to people. And, you know, with the way life's been the last little bit, I think the most important thing is we all got to laugh, man. This is taking it's taking a mental toll on a lot of people, man. A lot of people aren't good with isolation, aren't good with lockdown and stuff. I mean, a perfect example. My cousin just passed away Saturday before last, and it was because a lot of her demons came out during the Rona. So, you know, I try to present a stage. I like to give people a platform and just showcase what they got, man. And I love putting the lineups together. You know what I mean? Like we had Cam was supposed to be on that show with us, Last Second Change, and I thrive in that. You know what I mean? I love, you know, having that little change at the last second.
I hated that the most when I was running the room. I could not stand that.
You know what though? It's very easy for me because I have I hate to call them like in my back pocket, you know, because that's not the best term that I want to use for it. But for lack of a better term, I have comics in my back pocket that more times than not, if I call them, they're there for me if I need them, you know. So I always like to have a little list of backups if we have them. So you know, so life happens, bro, and I understand. And I'd never ask somebody to turn down a bigger offer than what I am. I mean, I'm just a spoke on the wheel of Detroit comedy right now, but we trying to change it. We're trying to make that bigger.
For sure, for sure. Well, we can talk comedy all day, but today,
Oh yeah,
we need to settle something. We need to see what do you between love and success. If I lay it all on the table, if love, you got one, you got love, you got success. Which one are you choosing?
you know what, man? We gonna still talk comedy here for a minute, because you know Rachel, my fiance, and I would take love over success, man. Because I'm going to tell you this, and this is a perfect example because I've lived through it and I'm still living through it. When I first started this comedy business, you know, it was under a different name. I had another lady at my side. We had been dating for a minute, but she wasn't fully invested. You know what I mean? So I knew that it was, you know, like, yeah, we love each other. We didn't love each other.
Invested in you or the comedy?
Both, really, because the way I look at this, if I was really trying to get into comedy and I wanted to make this what I wanted to do, it should have been support right off the bat. You know, if she cared and loved me, so to speak, as much, it should have been 100% back from there. You know, but me and my fiance are together and it's been down since day one. Whatever I need, you know, if it weren't for her, and I have said this numerous times, I've said this to Jason, if it weren't for my fiance, Knuckleheads Comedy would not be where it is right now. She is my memory. She is my calendar. She's my partner. I mean, yeah, Strohmile's my business partner, but Jason walked into the show a few weeks ago. Me and her were still finishing up last few things to the set, you know, getting the spotlight up, stuff like that. But even right now, like I'm going down for knee surgery August 24th. I'm going to be down 3 to 6 months. Okay. Earliest that they're talking about me coming back is 6 to 8 weeks to be able to even just walk in and sit at the producer's table. That's not setting up. That's not nothing. So guess who's doing that all now? That's all my fiance doing that. So if it weren't for the love I have from her and the 100% backing that she gives me and the 100% belief that she has in Knuckleheads Comedy to become something more than just a blip on the map or a spoke on the wheel for Detroit comedy, none of it would happen. So all day I would take that 100% love and backing, because whether it was comedy, whether it was if I wanted to go back into the sales game, if I wanted to go be a shop rat and drive a high-low, she's still going to have my back 100%. And I know that success is going to come.
I might ask a question to play devil's advocate real quick and be on Kevin's side for a second. So being successful, you could pay somebody to do all that. What do you feel like would be what's the difference between her, you know, the love for her driving the ship while you down and just paying somebody to do it? Like you can get Strohmile to do it.
And Strohmile will be there helping, no doubt about that. You know, he's already worked it out with his work schedule and stuff that he's going to be there for Solo Detroit shows and stuff like that. But it's also it's my OCD going crazy. I mean, you know how I am, Jason. I'm very controlling with those to an extent, and it would make my anxiety shoot the roof if somebody else was there setting up for, you know what I mean? Like I have my shows a certain way and produce my shows a certain way, and we have a certain look to the show. I mean, not too many shows you walk into that's a travel show, first off, because, you know, I don't have my own venue. I travel this. I have 7-8 different venues now, but it's the stage lights on the bottom. It's the banners, the backdrop. It's the hooking up the spotlight. At the, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I could go hire somebody to do it, but is it going? Absolutely, because is it going to be up to my standards? Because even though I'm out of the game for that little bit of time, I know she'll putting on what I want to be a Knucklehead show. You know, versus if I had somebody in there who doesn't know what my standards are, doesn't understand what my expectations are, and doesn't understand where that needs to be. Because when people walk into a Knuckleheads Comedy show, you have a certain expectation if you have been to that show before, or if you know somebody that's been to that show and, you know, and you've talked to them about it, you have a certain expectation coming out. Just like if somebody sees Jason Jamerson on a flyer, they're going to know they're going to laugh that night. You know, same thing with a Knucklehead
better
show.
know
They know they're
that,
gonna and that's the thing, man. When they see a Knuckleheads logo, they know they're coming out for a good time. Because my biggest thing is, I don't want to just give them a show. I want to give them an experience. That's why I have the ridiculous stuff like, Jason, I don't think you've seen it yet. I built a entryway that you walk through to get to come out onto the stage. I've got the smoke machines. I've got shit like that. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I took it as, okay, Vince was able to do the rock and wrestling back in the day. Why can't I do, you know, comedy and something else, or, you know, implement it somehow? So now that's why we got the championship. And when everybody, this goes right back to her, when everybody else told me I was crazy, she told me it's a great idea. If you think it's going to work, then do it. And man, now we got the championship show this weekend, and a lot of people in Detroit comedy have been talking about that belt. So
I appreciate you sharing that with us, Adam. And it sounds like you've got a great partner, fiance by your side. But
love her, man.
I just want to kind of set it like this. It sounds like you were looking for success, and you found love to really enable and really get you to the success that you wanted to do. But when we think about someone like your partner, I'm sure she has her own successes, right? And so, like, that sounds like she's leaning into love. But like, what about her success? Where's that at right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's got stuff that she wants. Like, a lot of the stuff. I mean, she's a great. You know, one thing she wanted to be was a great stepmom of my son, and she is. She's being a great stepmom of my son. She busts her ass at work, you know, and then turns around and comes and helps me with the shows. But the main thing she's working on right now is the wedding. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's got to get done with that. So it's little successes in the wedding right now until we, you know, get through that. And, you know, her big thing is, I don't know how to say it without sounding like an asshole. If Knuckleheads comedy succeeds, she's happy with that. You know what I mean? Is it necessarily her dream? No, but she's taking it on as her dream because she knew where it was when she came in and where I wanted to take it to.
Right.
And now it's leaps and bounds above the rest, but she lives with the success just like I do. She loves watching the comedians. Her birthday's in 10 days. Sorry. And I let her put together the lineup for Solo Detroit. And that's a hell of a lineup. So I mean, we share it. It's not all my success by any means necessary. I mean, all the comics give her props. You know what I mean? They show the love just the same and the respect. Hell, 90% of the time, comics will walk in and they'll show her the love before me. Like Kev Johnson, every time walk through the door, hey Queen, go up, give her a hug, and then all of a sudden he's coming back to me 20 minutes later. Like, right? No, it's a straight partnership thing, man. It's when Knucklehead succeeds, we both succeed.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Adam and his love story as he prioritized success and then found love, and so that's all I was saying from the beginning.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Adam, for coming on, man.
Please come back, Adam.
I get what. No, I definitely will. And let me say this real quick, Kev, because you said that. Did I prioritize success before? No, because I really didn't. Before I met her, I didn't know 100% where I was going with the comedy thing.
Okay.
Because I originally started out, the first time I ever got up on stage and did anything was at an America's Got Talent audition. I had never been to an open mic in my life. I had never done a showcase in my life, nothing. I just had people for years and years of my life telling me how I needed to go start doing stand-up comedy. So I went down to Detroit, hopped on the Greyhound, took the Greyhound down to Lima, Ohio, met up with my brother at his college, and we drove to Cincinnati and sat there until fucking like 1 a.m. before I finally got to audition. And then I got back and I did a show over at Polsky's. But then when me and her got together, I was hitting open mics 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. And then I finally realized that I could turn it into the business. And when I looked at her and asked her, that's when, okay, I know I can make this successful because of the love and backing that I had from her. So when we first got together, I was still performing. Yes, I was running shows here and there, but I was kind of stuck in purgatory in between the two because I didn't know which way I was going to go. But then I just finally took a step back, looked at myself, and said, "Okay, I'm never gonna be one of the guys on the big stage on a Netflix special, stuff like that." I mean, you put me and Jason on a stage, and I will say it all day. Jason will wipe the fucking floor with me all day. Yeah, I'm funny, but I'm not that guy to make it big. So that's when I started running shows, and there was moderate success before the love, but it's because of the love that I have the success right now. And it'll continue to grow. I mean, even right now with me going down for surgery, I'm trying to start a new podcast, and she's right there. Whatever you want to do to keep you sane during this time. So it's awesome, guys. But no, I appreciate you guys having me. I really do. I hope to be back soon sometime. But
we gotta talk more about the comedy, the production side of comedy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but I appreciate you coming on, man. We got another guest that's waiting in the waiting room.
You fellas, take care. Be safe.
All right. So
I love Adam's story.
Hey man, Adam got a nice story. Before we get to our next guest, I'm going to read another comment that Dylan said. Dylan said, "Love in itself is a form of success in my eyes. Not everyone finds love. So if you have, that seems like you've become successful in at least one part of life."
You know what?
Dylan, my dog.
It sounded like that they were listening to the last episode. That's what I was saying. That's why, for me, prioritizing success until you find that right love is the good move, because you mitigate your risk rather than going to the other side. You have something to fall back on, keep you energized, really give you passion, releasing those endorphins, and give you a purpose to life. And so, if you're fortunate to find love, I think that's the awesome sauce to really set you up.
Most definitely. So we talked to a few fellas. We about to get to the ladies. So coming on, friend of the show has also been a guest on the podcast before. My friend and pseudo therapist. Give it up for Miss Ciera Renee. Let me put her in the middle.
What up, Ciera?
What up?
She bite. What's going on, C?
I'm mad because that comment you read right before I got on, I was like, no, that's what I wanted to say. Now I got to think of something else.
So I'm assuming you're team love then.
Yeah, I'm team love for sure, because I feel like, okay, so success is relative, right?
Right.
It's relative to the individual, but I think we kind of already have a blueprint for what love looks like and what the purpose of love is. And just like whoever Dylan, the comment was from, it's like, yeah, everybody don't win at love at all. And like, that's like an amazing feat these days, when in this like our narcissistic culture where everybody is out for self and like nobody wants to be loyal, or love is just, I don't know what to even call it, but it's not the way God intended love to be out here in these streets. So like, if you can succeed at that, if you can get like that real authentic pure love, like, no, you win it, like legit, just because of what love embodies, like what all love is meant and designed for it to be in our lives. I think that you'll have maybe even more of the desires of your hearts than what success can be like to some people, because just like, it's relative though, but I think you can have a lot more with love.
Yeah.
Yes, Ciera. I mean, I appreciate seeing you again. I think last week Jason chopped it up to, would you rather be broken in love or successful?
That's what you said.
No, you said
that's what you said.
Ain't nobody said nothing about broke. Hold on, wait. Y'all might have to rephrase the question. Nobody said nothing about broke.
We hit the extremes. We're trying to hit the extremes with it, right? Being broken in love or being successful. We means that you probably have some finances attached with that, but not purely that, but you're just successful in those goals that you kind of have.
Yeah.
And you don't have love and kind of where you're going. So kind of where you're at in life, a successful person, how would you think of those?
I don't want to be broke, Kev. I don't want to be broke.
Okay, now. Okay.
I don't want to be broke. But okay, so I'll tell you this. This is a story. My daughter, she's 17 now, my baby. I remember she had to be like about 7. Yeah, she had to be about 7 or 8. Maybe between 6 and 8. young, and I worked at Comcast, the slave ship Comcast. I worked there, and I was getting the overtime. I was doing all those things because I needed, I wanted money in the bank. I wanted to be able to take her places, do things. And I'm like, okay, I'm working. And it came to the point where she was like, Mom, I don't want you to go to work. I'm like, well, I gotta go to work. And she was like, no, I don't want you to go to work. So I'm trying to like make it good, make it plain for her. I'm like, well, if I don't go to work, then we can't go anywhere. She was like, I said, no, if I don't go to work, then we won't be able to live in our house. And she was like, well, we can just go somewhere in the car. I was like, well, if we can't drive the car without gas because the car take gas, she's like, well, we can just sit in the car and talk. And I was like, oh, she just want my time. Like, my baby just want my time. And I think, so for me, I define success about how much of my time that I actually own. Like when I have the ability to say like, I'm not coming or I'm going to switch these things around, that's for me successful because I own this time of mine, because that's probably like the most expensive thing that I have. If you can get my time, you important, Jason. Like,
we feel important.
Yeah, y'all should feel important right now. If you get my time, that's one of my biggest assets, right? So it's important to me. It's precious to me. So that's how I define my success, how much of my time that I own. I can go to work when I want to. For the most part, I go and get the job done, but I feel like I'm successful because I own my time. Could I have more money in the bank? Absolutely. Do I think my job should pay me more? Absolutely. Could I raise the prices on my client? Yep, 100%. But I like the space that I'm in because I own my time. So I think you just have to I tell people all the time, you have to understand and define success for yourself. Like what's important to you. And even like broke is a mentality, right? It's not necessarily what you got in the bank. Broke is a mentality. So what are you actually striving for? Like, where can you find your peace? Where can you find your joy? It's literally, I've been the happiest times when I've had less money. I can look at happier times when I've had less money in my savings account than I do at this point in time. So it's not about the dollar amount. If we get outside of our mind and stop being materialistic and trying to keep up with the Joneses, everybody think they got to invest in stocks and have millions of dollars put up and all that. That don't mean nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so look, I'm once again play devil's advocate and be on Kev's side for a second, and ask you this: if like whatever success is to you, if you can only choose that form of success versus not ever achieving that level of success, but being in love or having love, what would you choose?
So you messed me up because being in love and having love is different.
I say having love. That's why I clarified and said having love. I clarify. Being in a loving relationship.
Being in a loving relationship.
In a loving relationship.
Or having success.
Your personal form of success. All the time in the world that you want to use.
All the time in the world. I still would rather be in love. Or having love. I still would rather have love.
And why is that?
I just feel like, I take it back to the Bible. I think we are innately drawn to that form of a relationship, to be in love. I think we naturally are designed for that. So when you do things that are according to God's designs, that's the thing that's the most sustainable. That's the thing where I think you find your greatest level of peace. When we outside of there, you might have moments of like, hey, this is what's up, but it's usually something that I feel kind of draws us back. Like it's that pull.
Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back.
It's that pull. It's because it's literally how we created. God said from the very beginning, it's like, it's not good for this man to be alone. Like, because I think we need to have that connection. We need to have that connection. And ultimately, God is love. And I think we all are drawn to that at the end of the day. Like we want that feeling because that's how we were created.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
I so appreciate that, Ciera. I think one thing that you really reminded us as a group, as listeners, all that, we keep thinking about love as that romantic and loving relationship. But you just talked about your daughter and the love that she wanted from you and that companionship too. And I think that just reminding everyone that love is just not defined in that romantic way is really important. And neither is success defined in the financial way.
In the financial way, yeah.
Yeah, it's being autonomous or being able to have these experiences, things that you maybe didn't have growing up. And that's successful to you because you're pushing the envelope and you're breaking barriers for that next generation. So I really love that.
100% good. And
like that.
and to go along with that, Penelope, friend of the show, she said, I wasn't successful with romantic love. She was divorced. My love was my kids, which came at a financial cost. She homeschooled. So putting 20 years in my kids' daughter graduating at 18 from college, and my 17-year-old high school, or my I guess I will always have to work as an entrepreneur, massage therapist / chef, no pension or retirement. So my success has been able to raise my kids and have a relationship with them.
Talk that talk, Penelope.
Talk that talk, P. Yeah. Talk that talk. So yeah, Ciera, I know your time is valuable, so I don't know if I can afford too much more of it. So
I'll invoice you later, Jason.
So I thank you for coming on. We gotta bring you back on again, because there's things happening, and we probably need to talk more mental health.
Biles, we need to talk about that. Naomi Osaka, we definitely need to chop that up on stuff like that for sure.
We definitely need to talk some more. So we gonna get you back in the next few weeks. Did she freeze or she left?
Holla.
I think she froze. I told her not to get on her phone, but people don't like listening to me. But all right, Ciera, if you can hear me, I'm saying goodbye and I'm about to take you off. Boom. Yeah. So I promise y'all that I did not pay all these people off to say love. I guarantee that. I can promise y'all that.
I'm thinking I got one. I still got Adam, man. I still got Adam.
Yeah. You know what? I can see. I can concede to your point with Adam. But all right, we have our last guest. Oh, Ciera said her laptop died, and that's what happened. It's all good. We have our last guest coming on here. This young lady, I actually trained her. I don't think she has a video, but we should be able to hear her. This is Carrie. Carrie, how you doing?
Hey, people, what's going on?
I'm fantastic. So, what we are talking about today, we're asking: would you rather have love or would you rather have success? What would you say?
I think with the way that life is going now, people are like so temporary. I will much prefer success.
Talk that talk.
So please clarify when you say people are temporary. Go ahead and clarify.
Yes, people are very temporary. Like, unfortunately, even at this adult age, a lot of people don't really know what they want to do. They don't even really know what love is. Still trying to figure out how to even love themselves, let alone to love somebody else. So I think I would much rather, be successful. I would rather, be happy in my success, whatever that means to me.
So happy in your success and alone?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, play the field, if that's what I feel like I want to do, but yeah, I mean, I love myself. I kind of feel like it'll be enough for me and whoever else, but I want to be successful.
I will say that to what you just said, that is one of the reasons why the conversation with the original conversation I had with my man Corey Armstrong came to be. And that is because he was talking about the way people are today, like at this moment, right now, at this particular time, he would rather have success than love. Yeah. And I don't know what the dating scene looks like at this point in time. So I couldn't say. He apparently is extremely difficult to find love right now, according to him.
The dating pool definitely has pee in it. It's awful. It's so awful.
So let me ask you this. have you ever experienced love before?
I most definitely have, and it was a beautiful thing. I gotta admit, it was fun while it lasted.
It was fun while it lasted.
So, and I think that what you're saying is too. There was a time stamp on it. It had an expiration date to it, and so kind of based on that experience, it makes you maybe prioritize success because you don't know the next time you find love, you don't know what the expiration date is going to be like. That it could be everlasting. It could be 5 years, 5 months, or 5 days.
Most definitely, like I most definitely believe that people come in for a reason or a season, and got to figure it out what they're there for. But even then, ultimately, I would just rather prefer. I would prefer to be successful.
Yeah.
What is success for you?
Success for me, kind of piggybacking off of what was her name?
Ciera?
Ciera Renee. Yeah, like just being happy, my time, the peace that comes along with it, just ultimately being able, I guess, to move on your own time, so to speak.
Okay.
Well, I on the flip side of what Kev just said, success could also technically be temporary. Also, a lot of people who were successful, they got hit hard by this pandemic, and now they in the same boat as everybody else. And I mean, the transfer of wealth may have happened, like because everybody had these PPP loans, and now they successful. But you never know. And like I feel like, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like at least with love, you can, I don't want to say control when the time is up, but success can happen so like that success can be taken from you so unexpectedly because there's so many outside factors that don't even got if you're talking financial success, it could be the company just goes under or whatever the case may be. If we're talking about having your time, life happens and you may have to do different things to where your time isn't as available as it used to be. Whatever the case may be, the situation can change, and that goes both ways. But that's the point I was making. The same way love can be temporary, so can success.
Okay, so I feel like, so say for instance, you just so happen to start running a business, hypothetically speaking. Mm-hmm. You running a business, your first 2 years, you go in strong, and it's okay, it's kind of decent. Maybe another year to 2 years down the line, things kind of start falling off, getting bad and whatnot. I kind of feel like in that sense, you can't necessarily control that, but I would much rather be disappointed by a failing business than me putting my energy into a person who has the ability to, I guess, make me, do what's necessary to make me happy or please me. And for whatever reason, they decide not to. That's like a bigger, I guess, heartbreak to me or disappointment to me.
That's not as much of a disappointment to me because I just understand that humans are flawed. So people are I won't say they're made to disappoint, but you got to expect disappointment from people, even if it's not on purpose. But I don't know. I would just much personally, I would rather have love than success to that level, because I'm with Dylan and John. Love is a form of success for me.
Okay. You define what success meant for you. Can you just define what love means for you, or the ideal love for you?
I mean, okay, so love is like an action word. Just making sacrifices. Sometimes, I guess going the extra mile. Being able to see things that other people don't necessarily see, or yeah. I might need to think on that a little bit more. Okay.
Well. So what it sounds like to me, there's no offense, no shade. What it sounds like to me is you have more of an idea of what success looks like than you do what love looks like for you.
Yeah, I might need to figure that out.
Hey, here on the Jason Jamerson podcast, we help everybody. We don't just entertain. We get life coaching in. We over here changing lives for the better.
Fix my life, okay? I just got stumped for the first time, and I always got an answer. Okay.
Yeah, you got some homework. Some homework. Go ahead and figure out what love is, what love actually looks like for you. Because one of the points that John, my brother John, one of the guests who was on here earlier, what he said was a lot of people look at love in a romantic sense, like, you know, the and it's really more lust than love. So yeah, it's love is different for everybody, because some people like to love from afar, but still just be like, you know, like, I don't need to be up on you all the time, but when I want to, I want to. Some people need to be on you all the time. And that kind of goes that there's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and so there's like different ways people love, but you know, that's, I mean, no, that it's definitely different for everybody. So go ahead and figure that out.
Most definitely. I do know that my love language, I just figured that out probably about a month or so ago. My love language is acts of service. I do know that.
And when you say that, does that mean you like to provide acts of service, or you want to receive acts of service?
Both. I kind of get like a real big joy out of, you know, pleasing people, not just, you know, a person that I'm with, but if I'm, you know, helping somebody in any kind of way, that brings me a real, you know, sense of joy. I like that for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that is what's up. Well, Carrie, I appreciate you coming on tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you was here with us.
All right. Now y'all have a good one.
Hey, you have a better one.
Yes,
Great
sir.
to meet you. Thank
You
you for
too.
doing the show.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
So yeah, we got you got one, Kev. You got one.
I got 1.5 at least.
You got one. You got 1.5.
You know, I think Kay brought out something interesting too, or you brought it out actually, and she kind of went out on it. The love languages, right? And so you know, when we're talking about is it love or success, you also need to know your love languages to really capture the right love that's right for you, no matter what the timeline or the expiration date on that love is. And I think honestly as well, I'm sure there's something for your success language, you know, like what does that mean for you? Some people talk about having the right time. Some people talked about the autonomy. Some people talk about ROI, and more so a financial one, kind of getting there. But then others, it's like really having that experience that they weren't able to get to kind of get out of their comfort. So really, I think we could probably write a book on the 5 languages of success.
Yeah. Hey, shoot, maybe you should write a book on the 5 languages of success. There you go. But hey, before we get out of here, though, I would like to. We actually have a sponsor this week. We got a sponsor this week, Kev. Yep. Our sponsor this week is Blank Space Printing. They actually made this shirt. They made my greetings and what up though shirts, which are available. If you all you gotta do is DM me your size, and I will invoice you, and you will get your shirt. But Blank Space Printing is a Black-owned custom printing business for all of your printing needs. They just don't do shirts. They do cups, they do mugs, they do banners, they do posters, they do whatever you need them to do. They do hats, they do everything. They give you the blank space to bring your brands and ideas to life. You can follow them on IG at Blank Space Printing. There's no spaces in between those words, just Blank Space Printing. So shout out to Blank Space Printing for sponsoring today's episode. And if anybody on here watching wants to sponsor an episode, go ahead and DM your boy. We can get you in here, shout you out for a sponsorship. So Kev, do you have any parting words before we get out of here?
Yeah, my parting words are, you know, I love the topics. We definitely have to do more of these and kind of bring people in for their point of view. It seems to me that whether it's success or love, I think we got to find balance. And so I love Adam's story where he found balance in what he was doing. He was going into success, but he wasn't really there and happy. He had support he needed, which he's getting from that loved one. And really finding that allow him and enable him to be more successful in a balanced way, having someone to lean on, to contribute to, there may be concessions within that, but ultimately you're getting more value out of the experience. And so I think that's super important. We talked about the love languages. I've been talking about that all week, so it's crazy you brought it up. Shout out to my homie Corey. And so I think it's really important to know your love languages within love, but also within success.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, if y'all enjoyed this episode, go ahead, I see a lot of y'all have commented, and go ahead and share it and let people know that the Jason Jamerson podcast is lit. We be out here doing what we do. Kev, where can they find you at, and what do you have going on?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram at Hercules Jackson and on Twitter at _KevB_. And all I got going on this week, man, is setting myself up for new positions, new changes, new moves, and supporting people and doing the same thing. And so if you have a small business, you're a nonprofit, and you're looking to grow, accelerate, or just kind of get the fundamentals down, hit me up at thecomeupcg.com. So info@thecomeupcg.com.
Dope. And as always, you know me, hitting stages and lifting weights and, making people laugh and getting them in shape. You can find me, if you're already watching, on Instagram, on Facebook, is the Jason Experience. And on YouTube, it is the exact same thing as Facebook. You can also see me on Instagram at the Jason Experience, spelled just like it's spelled under my beautiful face, except there's no spaces. And also on TikTok. I'm back on the talk. Kev. I'm back on the talk. And that's also the Jason Experience. So until next week, Dylan asked what's the topic next show. Well, guess what, Dylan? You're gonna have to tune in to find out, because to be completely honest, I don't even know yet. So just tune in next week. We're gonna have some good. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but it's gonna be entertaining. So until then, y'all be safe. Probably need to start putting y'all masks back on, and peace out.